This thing on? It is on. All right. And is this thing on? Yeah, that's on. All right. What do we got here? Look, this video is for the new skater or someone that's never set up a skateboard that wants to set up skateboard. Pretty detailed. Some lessons learned because I made some mistakes. No matter how many boards I've set up, I definitely made some mistakes on this one. Or just for the straight skate nerd that's down for a super long setup video. All right, let's I'm just going to narrate it. I filmed it late at night, so I didn't want to be loud. But now I'm just going to narrate it, and we're just going to go from there. So, thanks for being here. Hope you enjoy it. I know you're going to skip around a little bit, but like if you have the time, like enjoy the video. That's why you clicked on it. All right, let's do this. All right, that's my living room wall. All right, what are we doing? We are setting this bad boy up. All right, we got all the components. Don't mind any of the bald spots you see on my head. This is the most hair I've had in 27 years after shaving my head for so long. I'm trying to grow some hair and see if I can have some hair. So let's get some organized. So what we got? We got a GNS street comp board. This is the 1989 version that they've just reissued, and it doesn't come with anything on top. Luckily, I've got a GNS sticker. Actually, you see those notepads down there, the old memo books that you had back in school back in the day. Those are actually my sticker books that I got for Christmas last year, and to quote my wife and son, do you know how hard it is to find sticker books not made for a 12-year-old girl? So anyway, they got me some sticker books, and I was stoked because my stickers used to just be like in a pile somewhere. So I put them in there. At first, I was trying to organize, but you get so many stickers, like you don't know where everything's at. So pulling out another Gordon and Smith classic bar logo sticker. I figure you got the OG Gordon Smith down as the front, the top graphic, and now I'm going to throw some regular stickers on it because we're going to do this, 1989 style. We're going to sticker the top, and we're going to do some clear grip. Man, clear grips come a long way too. That stuff used to not grip at all, but I think Grizzly and Mob are doing a pretty good job with it. So just flipping through the book, making sure like there's nothing crazy that I want in this book. I don't think there is, so we'll close it up and we'll grab another book. I was gonna edit all this down, right? But then I was just thinking, like, this is the process. Like, this is the real process. Like, I care about setting up my skateboards. I care about exactly what stickers going on it, and where it's going. Like, all that matters to me. Like I said, this is just me late at night surfboard. It'll go faster. I won't flip through every book like that. I hope not, man. If it does, I'll cut it out in this part of the edit. So book 2, I think I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my skateboarding is not a crime bumper sticker, because we're going old school. So somewhere in here. Man, I suck. All right. All right. This is probably where we're gonna hit 10 seconds ahead. We'll see where it goes. We're scrolling. We're scrolling. We're scrolling. We're scrolling. Man, I just might be in the wrong damn book. There it is. Found it. So if you skip 10 seconds ahead, welcome back. We're pulling out the third sticker. That took a little while. All right, skateboard's not crime. We're gonna pop that bad boy right there. Thought everything else was going, parallel. So we gotta change it up a little bit and get it on there. And then we're gonna find ourselves one of my logo stickers, which is the skateboarding at 40 plus. Boom, we got it right there. I'm out of these stickers. Well, I'm not. I got a couple more in the book spread out, but I did have some stickers made, and that was just for me. I just wanted to have cool stickers. I think next time I'll do a QR code and try and see if people want to visit this crazy channel. where we over exaggerate building boards and do it super slow. Oddly, board setup videos are some of my best viewed videos, and it started with one Chris Miller I set up during COVID. Uh, I couldn't believe that people watched me sit in a chair and build a board for however long it took. It was crazy. So here is mistake number one. I see those trucks down the corner. Those are brand new aces I bought for this board. So of course I am putting a big shiny ace sticker on it, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I think this is going to be great. This is going to turn out to not go well for me. It'll be something I should have checked, something I should have known, and I did not. If you think I know, you know the mistake before I do it, put it in the comments. Be honest though. You can't put it in the comments after I tell you. Then we got our TNC, Town Country Surf. That's just kind of like part of my childhood growing up in San Diego in the 80s and 90s. TNC was super big, and the yin and yang. I don't know. It speaks to me. I'm a big fan of it, and so I bought some stickers not too long ago and put in my book, and this is the first one I'm using. So stoked on that. So anyway, that's the stickers. That's what we're doing on top. Got my sticker books. I think they're pretty dope. I think every skater, if you're a skater and you're buying stuff, you're getting stickers. You might as well get some dope ass sticker books and never comply. See a little Mikey cat down there in the corner. I don't know why I'm staring at the screen. I'm probably making sure the camera's on or something. There's the board, Ace, GNS at 40 plus. Skateboarding is not a crime. TNC and the bar logo GNS. I'm hyped with that. I think that's nice 80s setup. That's little Mikey, Michelangelo to be exact. So I've got this Grizzley Grip. I went with clear. Like, yeah, you know, black is better at the end of the day, but I got enough boards. Where I'm not mad. I'm not mad at doing some clear. I like the way it looks. I like having some stickers on the bottom. I popped that bear out, and I'm gonna have to put it back in later. I shouldn't have popped it out because I didn't want. After I put it on there, I didn't like the hole. But lesson learned. Make sure you know where the bear is gonna go before you pop it out. We got Mikey helping us though. That's dope. It's a pretty good little new kitten, new add to the fam. Very helpful. So I'm pretty sure there's a Mikey hair in this board for life now. We'll see. Just line it up. Man, lining up clear grip. That's super easy because you can just see where it goes. The only hard part is like the old school boards. You know, you're messing with a board just about as wide as the grip tape. So there's not a whole bunch of wiggle room for air when you're doing the bigger boards, but definitely the clear grip. The clear grip makes it okay. And we're going to smooth it out. This is a little tip. I'm sure everyone's seen it, but you know, the same smooth side you peeled off of the grip tape, flip that onto the rough grip tape, and then just start rubbing it. Get all the air holes out of there. I have asked for one of those mob rollers for Christmas, so you know, us 46 soon to be 47-year-old dudes, we need Christmas gifts too. So I think I built enough boards where a grip roller and a bearing press are high on the list of things I would like to have for Christmas. So I don't use a lot of Grizzly. I usually use Mob, but I've never been upset about using Grizzly. And now I'm realizing that I've lost the bear. Where did the bear go? That's not. Oh, wait, is it down there? Is it down? Where did I put this bear? This is totally what I'm thinking right now. Like, man, I know I stuck it to the grip. How did it? Ah, got him. Luckily, it landed grip side down on the ground, so it's not covered in little bruise hairs from being on the ground. And we're just gonna fit it right back where he belongs, and seal him up. Good as new. All right. Now, of course, the good old standard. So this is weird, right? Like one of the most satisfying parts of building your board is scraping and tracing the grip tape all the way around, melting that grip tape into the board and being able to see that the shape of the board into the grip tape. Like that's when the board starts to come alive, right? But with the clear grip, you don't get that weird satisfaction that you normally get when doing this part of a build. I thought that was interesting. I kind of realized it in the moment. Like normally, this is my favorite part: tracing it out, seeing that shape come alive in some black grip. You don't get that with the clear. But anyway, still part of the process. I still want to get in there. I like to rub it, pretty good and make sure it's good in there, but not sticking to the side of the board. Um, old Rad Rat, he does a lot of grip. He sands that grip tape to the board so hard he doesn't even have to use a razor blade to cut it off. He just sands it until it comes off and just pulls it off. Like I've never gone that far. I think that's pretty cool what he does. Me, I just grab a razor blade. Okay, kids and young adults, make sure you always cut away from yourself. So you want to angle, you got to choose where you want to angle. Like if you want a little bit of top board showing, then you got to angle it in and up a little bit. Like, so it's kind of leaning towards the top of the board. If you don't want to show any board, then you just got to keep it straight up and down. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not on top of the board, but I'm also not completely straight up and down. I do like to lean it into the board a little bit, just so there's nothing left close to the sides that can create a kind of a unfinished edge where it could get caught on something and peel up later. So I kind of cut it at a slight angle with the blade, slightly tilted towards the top of the board. And you win if you get it all done in one cut. That's the goal. That's the goal. You want to get it all done in one cut and have yourself just the outline of the board, and then you're good to go. Bam. So we got it, and we're going to fold some in half, just so we can now sand it down some more. We just cut. We got some sticky stuff there with the cat. Grip tape sticking cat. I didn't think he'd care for that, but he didn't seem to mind. He's super interested in what's going on. It's usually like we're in bed, like he's like, oh man, there's something going on. This is rad. So we're just sanding it around all the way. You gotta put your craftsman hat on. Like this is your board. You want it to be to your standard, whatever your standard is. You want it to be to your standard. Look, sometimes I'm at the park and I'm just on board. I just grip it and stick it and fucking be done with it. But when you're setting up something cool like this, 1989, reissue, you gotta put a little love into it. You gotta love what you're doing. Make sure it's on there right. And like the top of the board, like that's what you're looking at, right? And of course, having good wheels, good trucks, how the board rides is super important. But like, you want to be stoked on your board. You want to be stoked on your board when you look down on it, when you grab it, and you're going to go catch a sesh. Like, you want to know, like, yeah, man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to skate this board, and I absolutely am hyped to skate this board. And there is some skating. We're going to show you some skating. We're not just building this to hang it on the wall. I say that as there's a bunch of boards on the wall behind me, but most of the boards on my wall, I have bought two of and skated or skated the ones on the wall. Very, very seldom if I bought something just for the purpose of art. I buy most of my boards with the intent of skating them. I just tend to buy another board before I actually get to skate it. All right. So now I'm just grabbing a screwdriver. Man, I'll tell you what makes easy finding your bolt holes is the clear grip. You just go through and pop it through. Normally I grab an Allen key, flip it through the back and pop it up through the bottom towards the top to find the holes and then do this. But man, clear grip. You just grab your screwdriver and pop your holes and you're good to go. All right. So we got a grip. So now we need to do our hardware. Initially, I have a 1-inch hardware. This will be fail number 2. Okay. So far, we got the fail number 1 with the A sticker. And now we're about to go inch hardware, which is going to be fail number 2. We do have some shorties. Shout out shorties. Shout out Chad Muska. After my time in skating in the 80s, but as I've come back to skating and learned about the Muska, man, what a rad dude. And I'm not just talking skater wise, but like working on a farm and hanging out with the groundhog. It's dope. If you don't follow Chad Muska's Instagram, definitely do that. I don't know if everyone puts their hardware in the same way. I just put it all in right away. Top and bottom. Like I don't like scrape away all the extra grip. I know some people do that in their truck bolt holes, but mine are pretty tight because I leave the grip there. So I just throw the hardware in all 8 of them and flip it over. So you can see the cat running back and forth. I'm just chilling. I was actually surprised how long this took me, but I wasn't in a hurry. Like this is what I was doing, and I think there's some value in just being present in what you're doing and not just trying to get it done, but just really thinking about it. Okay, so I got some of these wood plies from Reel as the risers. I've gone away from the plastic risers and rubber risers, and I'm going with these wood plies. That's the plan. This will be fail number 3. So we've got the bad sticker. Then we got the inch bolts. And then if I can get this stupid packaging open, we grab our risers. There we go. Boom, they're there. I'm stoked on it. Like, look, oh man, check it out. They're built like a skateboard deck. These are so rad. Man, I'm hyped on these, right? I'm like showing them to you. I'm ready to put them on. And then it hits me. Then I realize that's not going to work because on this GNS reissue, which they don't do on all their reissues, they used the old school truck pattern. And I, of course, bought these new Aces, which have the new truck pattern, and the riser pads I bought have the new truck pattern. So now I'm just staring at the board, going, okay, I got to make some choices here. I got to make some choices. Like, I even like, look, I'm like, okay, am I really fucking this up? Am I really seeing it right? Like, I'm staring at it. So I go grab my favorite bowl board by far, my Salba board. This is not a Santa Cruz. This is a board bought straight from Salba, Steve Alba. And I take off the Indies from the Salba. It has both. It only had the new school truck pattern, but the trucks, the Indies that are on there, the 169s, they offer both hole patterns, bolt patterns. So then I had some hot pink 1/4 inch Psycho Stick risers around, so we're gonna use those instead. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm kind of comparing them to the wood right now, trying to show you guys that the poles don't line up on top, so you can see through the bottom, but not the top. So anyway, couldn't use the trucks I wanted. Had to put those on the Salba. So now this my best bowl board now has brand new trucks. So I'm gonna have to break those in and get used to them on that board. But the good news is that this board's got trucks that I am comfortable with and some used, well used 169 Independence. And that's when I realized that I also need to switch out the hardware because an inch was not going to be long enough with the riser pad to begin with. So then we got to do that part again. Good news is I've got some That was, yeah, that was what, inch and a half or no, inch and a quarter. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I've got the next size up. I've got them available right there on the table. I was ready. I was kind of ready for that, mistake. Not mistake, probability, I should say. Uh, but man, measure twice, cut once, as they say. So here we go. Do this whole part again. You can go ahead and do I fast forward through this or not? Let me see if I cut it in the initial edit. Nope. Go ahead and hit 10-second skip or drink your beer like I'm gonna. All right. If you're back from the 10-second skip, we're just popping the proper sized hardware in there now. And now we've got our proper riser pad to fit the old school bolt pattern. We are using 1/4 inch, making sure I'm facing it the right direction to fit the truck nice and snug. I've got my independent now, not the aces I was going to put on there. And if you didn't skip, you know why we have independence now. Right now, I'm just checking to make sure the back is the back and the front is the front, and I didn't swap them out. When I put them down, I feel comfortable that I have the correct one in the correct place based off the grinds on them. I can usually tell if it's a front or a back. Popping those on there, board's starting to come to life. And man, I hope I fast forwarded through the drilling. I did on the Salva when I took the trucks off on this video, so hopefully I fast forwarded on this part too. If I pause for a moment, it's because I'm having a sip of my beer, which is called a Majestic Mullet Crispy Kolish, 5.6% by volume. I'll show it to you guys. There it is. That's what I'm drinking. It's pretty cool art. Can you say, little guy? And where's this thing? Brewed and bottled Parkway Brewing, Kessler Middle Road in Salem, Virginia. So shout out Salem, Virginia, and your majestic mullet. I want to have a majestic mullet, but you can see there that top of the hair is not growing as good as I want it to. All right. So hopefully on this part, like I'm going to grab the drill and it's just going to be all tightened up, because I hope that I cut this part out when I was initially doing the initial cut on the on that. I try not to cut too much out, right? Because if you speed up your build or you cut things out of your build, you're not being helpful to the person that's actually wanting to watch a setup video or learn something from a setup video. Or the person that's just really into, the details. So, it doesn't look like fast forwarded. Anyway, I'm just using a drill. I don't usually use a drill. I usually do like to hand tighten my hardware, but I had to have the drill out anyway. You'll find out why as we go into the rails. So if I got the drill out anyway, might as well use it for my hardware. All right. Top front is done. Let's go ahead and knock out the back real quick. Feel free to hit that 10-second skip button while we get these trucks tightened. See, look, I care. Like, I'm a giver, right? I want you to go ahead and skip 10 seconds, just come on back. There's enough video to go around for all of us. Like, I don't make any money off this channel. Like, it's not about the view minutes. It's honestly about like putting the work into the video. You just want people to watch it because you put the work into it. All right, I don't know where I'm going. Where'd I go? I just got up and left. Like everything's tight, right? Where'd I go? I'm back. What do I got? What's in my hand? Oh, the hardware. I remember when I went to the longer hardware, it doesn't fit my skate tool very well. So I had to go get a wrench. Lesson learned. Should have had a wrench handy. Because the skate tool's not gonna have a lot of access room when you gotta go long hardware. So always good to have a wrench available. Man, I forgot all about that. Yeah, it's all good. That's what we're here for, right? We're learning together. Like, and I'm not afraid to show my failures, man. Like, I totally should have checked the bolt pattern on this board before I committed to buying new aces. I just really want to get new aces, so I didn't check, right? I should have checked the hardware in advance. I shouldn't have put the ace sticker on the top under the grip. I wouldn't have done that had I checked the bolt pattern to begin with and knew I was going to have to use Indy. So now, like, man, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little bothered that I've got an ace sticker on top and I'm riding Indies. Like, I'm the kind of guy that won't even put like a PAL sticker on a Santa Cruz board. I won't ride uh, NHS wheels with a PAL board. Like, I don't want to say brand OCD, but I'm like brand loyal. Like I don't like to mix like NHS and Powell and things like that. GNS is a little different. They made a lot of their own stuff, so you can go ahead and mix and match other companies' parts on a GNS like and not feel bad about it. But now I've got an A sticker on top with Indy trucks on the bottom, and that makes me feel pretty shitty. uh Part of me wanted to rip the grip up and fix that, but I'm going to keep that as a reminder to always check your bolt pattern, right? Every time I look down at that ace sticker, I'm going to know, check your bolt pattern. All right, so now we move on to the bearings. I am riding the Bronson G3 bearings. I have probably had Bronson G3s in my last, oh man, I don't know, 5 or 6 completes I've set up. I was riding Olympia for a while, North Carolina company, pretty good. I tried the Quantums for a while. They're fast in the bowl. I wasn't too happy with them in street, not gonna lie to you. So see that, I just put my sticker in my sticker book. But I tried the Bronson G3s. They're about 35, 34, 34, 35 bucks. If you buy the one with the pro's name on them, I think you're paying an extra $4, $5 more. So I do try and get those. I like the Dressens or somebody, give a give a little back to the pro as best possible. So got the G3s laid out. I wasn't sure what wheels I was going to do at first. Oh wait, here's the bearing. Boom, that's the back. Don't worry about that. That's just the back. Oh, there's the front. I think these are the Milton Martinez. I think I did the Martinez on these. Is that right? Say in the comments, does Milton Martinez ride for Bronson? I don't know why I'm thinking that. And then I got some slime ball wheels. Boom, there they are. I thought the number one slime ball kind of fits the era for this board, and two, like the colors match the board and the right size I was looking for. Now that I can't remember the size, maybe 58, and the right softness. I do need to check that. Hold on, I've got the board right behind me. I will check it and let you know. Stand by. All right, the wheels are 57 millimeter and they're 95A, so not super soft but a little bit softer. 57. So a lot of my bowl boards are 60 and above. 57. Like that's a nice size. Like I don't have a problem riding 58s for street tricks. A lot of the time, I like the way they lock in on ledges. So we're just putting our wheels down. So look, put a bearing in, put your wheel. I like to put good pressure on, make sure it's nice and flat, and spin it a few times while it's there. And so my hands are getting pressure on all sides, and then flip it over, put the other bearing in. I do use one washer on the bottom and one washer on the top as intended by design. I know a lot of people do crazy stuff with their washers, 3 in the back to push it up towards the nut. Some people crank their hanger nut for their truck like all the way down to seat the bearing and then come off it. I don't like to do that. I don't like to smash the bearing. So I just make sure I got it. I don't like wiggle in my wheel, but I don't want it so tight that it doesn't spin as intended. So I just kind of do a controlled turn, I don't push down. I'm pushing down on the wheel, but when I'm tightening the nut, I don't push down on the skate tool. I only turn the skate tool, because your skate tool, when you're pushing down, you can smash that into the shield of your bearing, and you can damage your bearing as you're putting it on. So just something to be cautious about. If you're new to setting up skateboards, don't try and kill your bearings on. Just you can put them on with your hands, smash it down, turn the wheel a couple of times, make sure it's evenly set, and then you don't have to go ham with the hardware. You can just lightly turn it without jamming it into the bearing. See, like I'm barely on it. I'm just making sure it's turning. I shake the wheel up and down every now and then, make sure it's got the proper looseness or tightness, and then give it a few spins until I'm happy with where it's at. But that's just a lesson learned from me in the past. I'm pretty sure I damaged a shield once, and I said, that's not going to happen again. So there you have it. Nice and easy. And you can already see the colors coming together. I think those wheels look pretty sick on that board. The board is definitely coming to life. So let's get these last 2 wheels on. Feel free to skip 10, 20 seconds or whatever until this portion's over, but don't go too far, because we're going to install some rails, and we're going to go old school with some sex bolts or rat nuts, however you want to call them, on the rails. So we're going to do a proper 80s style rail install. So hyped to share that with you. Take another sip of the beer. Should have brought 2 beers in for this video, man. It's a long one. It's a long one, but that's okay, right? We're sharing knowledge. We're sharing the passion. I like setting up boards. Like, man, like what's cooler than setting up a complete, like, I was having a conversation with Anthony Shetler not too long ago on the All I Need podcast. Anthony Shetler, he is the owner, operator in all things All I Need, and just love everything he does for skateboarding. But we were having a conversation like about like all my boards, and like for me is every board makes me want to skate a different way, whether it's bowl or street. A pool is different than a bowl. Slappy, street park, transition, ledges, surf skate, like slalom, fuck, if you want to go that far. Like every board like has its purpose. And then when I set up a new board, I don't set up all the same stuff all the time. I set up different trucks, different wheelbases, different heights between the riser pads and the wheels and the kicktail, and different shaped boards. Every one of those boards inspires me to try something new, to skate it differently, to skate it someplace else. So I think every new board is a possibility, and I think that's really what I enjoy about setting up some skateboards, fresh completes. Plus, like I like the boards. I want to keep the boards together. If I took it apart just so I could use the components on another board, now I no longer have that board. Like I'm a little frustrated that my indies from my Salba that I love for the bowl are now on this GNS. So I might have to find something else to swap these out with to get these indies back on myself. But I do love Ace. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to put Ace on this board. Maybe I can adapt the indies, excuse me, the Ace on my Salba board. So there it is. Got the board like in the general realm of full board setup. That board is set up. It's gripped. It's got its trucks on. It's got its wheels on. It's got its bearings ready to go. But it's not a proper 80 setup without some rails, you know. And rails are making a comeback. You got the Little John's rails out there doing big things. A lot of pros from the PAL team. They ride rails these days. I like rails not just for the board slides, but I do like them for grabs as well. Gives me something to get my fingers under when doing some early grabs or whatever. But it also does protect the graphic if you're into that. If you just out to skate and destroy, then man, absolutely go skate and destroy. But for me, like a proper 80s setup, it has to have some rails. So just kind of line it up. This board makes it pretty easy to line up because there's the graphics got the cityscape down at the bottom, so I can just line it up straight on there and make sure I'm good and feel pretty comfortable with it, that I'm not going to get any wheel bite. And that's what I'm checking for, right? A lot of people put their, I see a lot of people put their rails on before they put their trucks and wheels on, and they're centering it to the board and the graphic. Man, that does not work for me, because depending on what trucks and wheels you set up and how loose you ride your trucks, you could get wheel bite onto the rail. So I like to put my rails on first, put my trucks and wheels on first, then line up the rails in a manner to ensure I'm not going to get wheel bite. So I'm centering the rail more between the trucks than I am the board and graphic, if that makes any sense. So I'm just taking the wood screws, and you're like, of course you're taking the wood screws. I'm just taking the wood screws and just putting them in. I always start with the center one, get it where I want, and then I go to the top and the bottom one, get those where I want, and then the two middle ones. Is this a 5 set or a 4 set? I think this is a 5 set. So I'm gonna screw these rails in the way they're intended with the wood screws, but then I'm gonna undrill them. These wood screws, the purpose of me putting the wood screws in is strictly a marker of where I'm going to drill holes through the board later. And you're like, oh man, why are you going to drill holes through the board later? Because we got to put the sex bolts on, and that's just how that works. I don't see a lot of people doing this, but I do it a lot. And it's what a proper 80s setup has in my mindset. Like I've got some not done, but here's what sex bolts do. They secure the rail to your board. So in the 80s, you're out, you're hitting some slappy board slides on a curb, or you're riding the rough terrain out there of the streets. The wood screws they'll rattle loose on you, and then you literally have a rally board, or you've got a floppy rail, or you break the rail off over time. So the sex bolts provide, like, no kidding, security to the board, and I'll walk you all the way through that very shortly. As you can tell, I'm just lining it up, and it's not just lining up with that bottom line, but lining it up with how far in I came. Like that looks like I'm like a quarter inch in some places from the edge of the board in. I'm probably checking it with the bottom graphic, and I'm probably checking the angle of it too. Like, did I turn the rail left or right towards the front truck or away from the front truck as I installed it, or shape it against the board? So, you know, you want them to be as parallel as possible and as lined up as possible but like I didn't pull out any rulers or tape it or do anything like that because this graphic just kind of makes it really easy with that bottom cityscape having a flat line on it, and then the shape of the board, uh the shape of the board for with where I'm putting the truck kind of lends itself to being symmetrical, both same on both sides, very clear of where the rail's going to go, not too far in and not too far out, because you don't want to be too close to the edge because you'll split your board, and you don't want to be too far in because it may not serve the purpose you want. Sometimes you have a board that has so much concave on it, though, you actually do have to bring your rails in pretty far to use them for slides. If not, you're just going to bottom out on the bottom of the board. But then you lose the ability to do grabs if that's the case, because you won't be able to reach under and get the grabs. Let's go ahead and fast forward 10, 20 seconds while I take a sip of my beer and we continue to drill these rails in. Yeah. Still drilling. Still drilling. Man, should I even upload this video? Seems kind of long now I'm doing it, but here's the benefit. People are going to skip through it. I'll put timestamps in it, so they'll get something out of it. If not, it's just, it's just a waste of everybody's time. If you're not going to do the whole thing, don't do it at all. So someone out there will hopefully get something out of it. All right. So what are we doing now? Now, exactly what I said before. I am now going to unscrew. I'm going to undo all the work we just did. You're like, man, you just spent fucking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, putting these rails in. So you're ready to fucking go out and skate. And now you're taking them apart. Why would you do that? Like I said, these are just the starter holes, man. Like we're about to take this, reissue deck that costs good money, and we're gonna put a fucking 7 over 30 seconds hole in it 5 damn times on each side, because that's how we roll. I did buy 2 of this model though, so stoked on that. Always 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Always remember that. Maybe I didn't buy 2 of this one. I think I bought 2 of this one. I got this one and the 80. This is the 89, and then I got the 90 for sure. One of them I bought 2 of. GNS had a sale. Stoked on that. But the 89 spoke to me more than the 90. All right, so now we're gonna take the screw Phillips out of the drill, and there's only one size drill bit you ever need to remember for installing sex bolts or rat nuts. That is a 7/32, a 7/32. This is the exact size of every sex bolt rat nut out there. Now you did your starter holes with the wood screws, but don't forget that you have to stay at the same angle. You don't want to just drill straight down. The same angle that screw went in with the rail, that is the same angle which you want to put that hole, so that when you put the sex bolt male and female portion in, that is still going to line up correctly with the rail. So just stay honest with the starter holes. Use them as a true guide. All right. Don't go to the side of them. Don't go to the left of them. Don't change the angle. Straight down them as if you were just going straight through it from the start. My drill bit keeps coming loose. I don't know why. It's weird. There's some hard wood though. That was for sure. Like I was either my drill bit's getting weak or the GNS used some no kidding hard maple, because like I had to use some pressure to get these holes going. I should have just gone outside and did it. I don't know why I did it. Just sitting here. Had to clean all that up later. I did cheat with the cleanup though. I used the sticky end of the grip tape and just kind of picked up the sawdust with that. I did not was not a good steward of vacuuming. I just used the sticky end of the grip tape and stuck it all up. All right, we got one side done. You can see, look, I'm pulling the grip tape out now just to get like that sawdust up that's on the outside. Brilliant. Brilliant. Never done that before. And I was like, oh man, it'd be sick if I didn't have to vacuum. Laziness, man. Laziness would get you innovating quick, real quick. All right. Pretty happy with that. Make sure it's nice and smooth. You don't want any debris where your holes are because that could disrupt the sex bolt going in, male or female portion. So I'm getting all the sawdust out of the holes. Feel free to let me show you real quick. Am I going to show you or am I going to drill? Looks like I'm going to drill. I'm going to go ahead and drill again. So feel free to, why am I gripping this time? What am I doing now? Okay, I'm drilling. So like, feel free to skip another 10, 20 seconds while I drill these holes, or you can enjoy the process of drilling those holes. I think I shut the volume off on this video. Yeah. So you don't get the drill noises and all that. So maybe I'll find something to play in the background. If it's just me talking, that could suck. Who wants to listen to me talk for an hour or whatever? Anyway, people are skipping anyway. It's not like they're listening to me for a full hour. All right. So if you're back from skipping, just finished drilling the second set of sex bolt holes through. It's using a 7/32 drill bit. I'm just cleaning up all the sawdust and making sure that there's no debris in or around the holes in which we just drilled, so that way we can put the rat nut or sex bolt female portion all the way through, and nothing disrupts the male portion going into the rail. So just real quick, looking at the top, I'm just going to make sure these holes are good and drilled, not good and drilled out, but they're clear of any debris, because I gotta stick the male portion of the sex bolt down through the top. So there you go. You got 10 holes in your brand new skateboard. That's when you know you got it right. When you got 10 holes in your brand new skateboard. That's always what you want to do. And then the cool thing about sex bolts as well is they are reusable. So these came out of I took these out of a Lance mountain board that I was done. I wrecked that board. It's done riding. So because they are kind of expensive, I buy them from Skate Kings, SK8 Kings website. They are primarily a freestyle, re-ride, and downhill skate company, but they got all the cool 80s stuff. They've got the sex bolts, they've got the rails, they've got your skid plates if you're looking for a specific size skid plate. They've got old school Bennett trucks. Like, I'm hyped on the stuff they have. I would like to get like a proper freestyle board someday. I did buy a Killian Martin board from them, but it wasn't a freestyle board. It was Killian Martin's first pro board. If you don't know who Killian Martin is, man, YouTube the dude was Andy Anderson before there was Andy Anderson. He was after Rodney Mullen, way after, but he was before Andy Anderson. And phenomenal creative mind, creative skater. This is where I realized that the sex bolts I pulled out of the Lance Mountain board were a 4-bolt rail, and this is a 5-bolt rail. So luckily I've got a baggie of extra bolts. That is Tigger. You guys met Mikey earlier. This is Tigger, the 22-pound cat. Mikey is a kitten, weighs about $1.50. This is Tigger. He's 22 pounds of hungry and fluff, and he's our oldest cat. Um, this cat's never had a bad day. He's never had a bad day. He's never been mad at anybody. He's never been pissed off at another cat or another dog. Like this cat's just chill, man. And like when we brought Mikey in off the streets, like Tigger didn't have any beef with him at all. So as long as he gets fed on time and he's not cold, which you would think, how could a cat with that much fluff be cold? As long as he's not cold and he's getting fed, man, just happy, happy as could be. All right, so now I'm taking the sex bolts and I'm just using the back of a plastic screwdriver, the rubber end of a screwdriver, just to pop these in the holes nice and good. Get them as flush as I can with the board. That's just going to make it easier later for the male portion of the screw to grab it. And now some of them are a little stiff, so I'm taking the pointy end of the screwdriver, put it in there, and just giving it one good pop. And that's putting it right down into the board. Super happy with that. So you can see little Mikey with little ice cream feet in the corner in the shadow. Somewhere there's a gray cat too. His name's Bruce Wayne. He's the Bat Cat. He hides in the shadows. Keeps to himself. Like that cat came with some trauma or something, but he seems happy here. He's just a weird cat. Got the two orange cats and the gray cat. But Bruce is dope. He doesn't cause any problems. He's just kind of introverted. Or I guess that's most cats, but just different than Tigger and Mike. I don't know why I'm talking about my cats because they're in the videos and the video's going super long. But anyway, you can see this starting to come to life, right? Like I think having the sex bolts on top, it's a little different with clear grip because like, man, there's a lot of holes in that board. But like it does add an aesthetic to the board that man, I love it. And I don't know if I love it because of the way it looks or because it's familiar. And all the boards when I was growing up, like that's what we had. So when I see this, like I see the boards as I know them to be or believe they should be. So just popping those in there, making sure they're good and set. Like the more set they are and there's no debris in those holes, it makes putting on the rail so much easier. If you have anything that disaligns it from your original holes, from those rail holes, like it can become a pain in the ass. And then the like you gotta kind of hope like the male portion, excuse me, the female portion that we just put in through the top doesn't spin when you start drilling in the male portion from the bottom, because then it just really becomes a pain in the ass. So a little bit of grip tape helps. You're only using the 7/32, so it's a nice tight fit helps, and not overpowering your drill helps quite a bit too. So we got all those in. Top portion complete. We are happy as could be. So now we're just gonna grab our rail. I don't know why I'm trying to decide which one. They're the fucking same. And I'm just gonna line them up with the holes. Oh, I saw some debris, so I just kind of pushed it away with the rail. You don't want any debris. So I'm grabbing my razor blade right now, and I'm just looking for any little flakes of wood or anything around the base of that screw. And these are just, again, lessons learned. Like you think it's dumb, but like sawdust get in between the threads and like did not want to tighten, or you can't get it through, or there's a little piece of metal that's pushing your screw away from your female portion so it won't line up. So you want a clear, unobstructed path. I don't have a better way to put it. From male to female portion on your sex bolt / rat nut as you do the rail. Okay, man, you guys tired of hearing me talk yet? I didn't want to talk when I was putting the board together. I just kind of wanted to put the board together. Wasn't making the video like, oh man, this is gonna be such a rad video. I was like, okay, I'll just record it and I'll just share it. I didn't know I was gonna fail at a sticker, fail at hardware, fail at the proper riser pad, fail at the wrong style truck. and be so meticulous about sanding the grip and making sure there's no loose wood chips around our rails. I didn't know those things. Had I known those things, uh, maybe I wouldn't have filmed it all, and I wouldn't feel compelled to make this video. But I think it's also good that we share some failures. Like, I've set up so many boards, and this is the most I've failed in a while, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, you live and you learn. 46, but been skateboarding seriously, like trying to learn tricks and getting into it and buying skateboards for coming up on just 6 years of Saturdays at best. So like I'm still very much a beginner and a learner, and maybe there's things I knew from when I was much younger but I've forgotten, or things I don't think to consider, like looking at the bolt pattern for trucks before I buy them. Now I will always consider that. And what am I doing? What's going on over here? Okay, I think we're set. So now we're just going to, you see, I'm using just a regular screwdriver to put these in, because sometimes when you use the drill too hard, you'll loosen up the top male portion, excuse me, female portion, and it'll just start spinning to death, and you'll wreck it. So just going hand tight at first. So feel free to skip ahead 10, 20, 30, 40 seconds here, unless you want to watch me just screw around with the screwdriver. I'm going to take a sip of my beer here. I'm running out for sure. I'm running out, which I think the timing might work out all right. Yeah, I did that just for your effect, to hear that I'm refreshed. Putting screws in. Yep. There it goes. I think it's crazy. Like, I really must have been just chilling doing this, because like I am in zero rush at all, and my life's pretty rushy a lot of the time. Like, I'm always got something going on, man, juggling more pies than Marie Callender's with the type of things I got going on at work and everything. So like maybe there was something therapeutic about going through this so methodically and so slowly. Like, maybe I needed this. Maybe I just needed to stay up late one night and lay all my parts out and have a plan that was poorly planned, but then, execute it flawlessly and calmly, uh, to get the end result, the desired effect of getting this board built the where I wanted it done. So maybe this was this. Well, I can't say maybe this is what it's supposed to be, but obviously it was. This is what it was. This was this is what I was doing, and it's weird to sit back here in third person and notice myself literally just being that engaged, quietly in the moment of just trying to set up my skateboard like as best possible. Apparently that ran nuts, and it's giving me some trouble. I look frustrated. I feel like I'm about to grab a drill and just jam that motherfucker in there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going down for sure. Putting the drill back on, not the drill bit, but the Phillips back onto the drill. Now here's the key. You can't just hold the back of that female portion on the top of the board with your finger. That'll burn your finger. So I've got the little mini screwdriver, and I've just got it kind of pushed against it, so I can drill this bad boy down. And I'm definitely giving some leverage. So something didn't want to line up there, so I had to go forceful. And you never want to go forceful. That never buffs out for anybody. It did buff out on this one for some reason once I got it figured out. But yeah, don't use your hand. You will burn it because that top one will start spinning. That metal gets hot, gets real hot. So something was just out of line. So I got it worked out. I just need a little pressure, a little bit of pressure. And then all the other ones, I'm just doing a quick tighten. Like they're in there pretty good. I don't need to get crazy. I hand tightened them. Now I'm just, and I even hand tightened all the way. I just, kind of got them lined up, put in there, make sure it was secure. And now I'm just going back through with the drill and giving him that one last tighten down without going too far. Happy with that. This one, there's one of my bald spots. But hey, my whole head was a bald spot 18 weeks ago. We're making some progress. Get that good comb over soon. That'll be dope. So that's one side. That is a full process of putting a rail. Now I got to go do the other side. So just to recap, right? I recommend putting, if you skipped a bunch and you just getting here, or you would like to recap because you've been here the whole time because you're super rad. I believe you should put your trucks and wheels on before you put your rails on. Because if you just put your rails on your board, you could, depending on your wheel truck combo, put yourself in a position to get wheel bite onto the rail itself. So I like to put my trucks and wheels on first, fully mounted, then line up the rail, not just with the center of the board and the graphic, but to make sure they're lined up with the trucks and the wheels so that to eliminate or not create any wheel bite. And then initially, I just use the wood screws that come with most rails, and I just screw them into the board after I line them up and get them where I want them. Then I pull those wood screws out after I have the trucks fully mounted, like you're ready to go. Like, oh, I'm done. Nope. And then I unscrew everything. You get a 7 and 30-second drill bit, and you drill along the same exact angle and path of the screws you just took out. Drill all the way through the board, 7/32, 7 30 seconds. That is the proper size for sex bolts, which you can buy on like Brand X website or SK8 Skate Kings website. Some people call them rat nuts. Some people call them sex bolts. Whatever they're called, they're a 7/32 female portion. After you get the holes drilled, make sure the holes are clear of any debris, nothing that's going to disrupt the rail sitting flat or the male and female portion of the sex bolt / rat nuts from connecting. And then after you drill your holes, you'll put the female portion in through the top of the board, making sure they're fully set and flush with the board. Again, no debris disrupting from either side. Once you have all that done, you'll put your rail back online, line it up against the holes which you just drilled. Take the male portion of each one of the screws. I like to hand tighten it at first with just a screwdriver to make sure they're in there good, and I don't blow out the female portion by fucking drilling. Then once I know they're good and mostly secure, then I'll go back through with the drill and give it that last little bit of tighten down. So that's it, down and dirty for installing rails with sex bolts, which to me again is the proper way to do it. So there you go. We got a proper 89 setup, right? We got some Indies 169s. We got some slime balls, some Bronson G3s. We got the GNS Street Chomp reissue board. Great colorway. We did a clear grip on top. We put the stickers on top. I've got the wrong truck sticker to match my trucks, due to the lessons learned, which we talked about earlier. I'm pretty frustrated with that, but I did it to myself and let it stand to be a reminder to always check your bolt pattern before you buy your trucks. All right, so now what are we going to do with it? We're not just holding on to this thing. We're not just collecting. like, bam, we're going to the park, right? So we got our street chomp, we got our slime balls, like give a little ollie, boom. Like I'm old man, like this is a little good little warm up. Get that at 50. I can't do nose slide because there's no nose on this board, so I'm doing fakie nose slide essentially, and then fakie nose slide shove out. So I did a front side, then I did a back side. We're hill flipping the big old board, and we're getting a little board slide. Yeah, she skates. She skates, and that's why we set him up. We set him up. Game. So if you stuck out to the majority of this video, man, more power to you. I get it. It's long. It's crazy. It's stupid. But like I said, if you've never set up a board, man, that should answer just about every one of your questions. If it didn't, like leave a comment, leave a question. I will 100% answer your question or get the answer for you. Or you just like to nerd out over this stuff like I do. And if you skip through some of it, I hope you got the parts you wanted out of it. And if you have any questions, let me know, and always feel free to come back and check it back out as some reference. It's about as detailed as I can get with some actual lessons learned in a setup. So that's it. Let it be written, let it be done. Everyone out there, go do something rad. Thanks for watching. Stay rad.